everybody. This is Marguerite Fair, aka GrannyTino, for Netflix movie reviews. And who is this lovely lady sitting next to me with the cat?
I'm Felina Katz. Meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Okay, well, that sounds like you've got your little kitty again. And I know you're excited today, Samantha, Miss Felina Katz, because we are reviewing A Woman in the Window, and you're going to go first because we know what's exciting about that you want to talk about.
Yes. And The
Are you?
Woman in the Window was really exciting. It's a psychological thriller based on a novel starring Amy Adams, one of my favorite actresses.
I love her.
Yeah. She is playing Anna Fox, a child psychologist who is agoraphobic and in therapy for her agoraphobic issues and others as well. She seems to be separated for some reason from her husband and child. Anna is very involved with watching her neighbors from the comfort of her own home.
A real stalker.
Like a stalker. And she finds out that some neighbors just moved in across the street. She also has a tenant that she rents to in the basement, and his name is David. And the best thing is, she also lives with a very cute white kitty, a fluffy kitty named Punch.
Whoa, Punch!
Punch. And this cat, I think, takes the show away anyway. While keeping tabs on the Russell family, she hears a scream and witnesses something rather unsavory. She has already had a visit earlier from the son Ethan, who was delivering a gift.
Another strange one.
Right. Then the mom, Jane, and the dad, played by Gary Oldman, another fantastic actor. He plays Alistair Russell and came over looking for his family. I guess they disappeared.
He keeps losing them.
Yeah. It's a sad thing. After hearing the scream, she calls the police to report it and then discovers that the Russell family is totally fine and that Anna never really met the wife.
Whoa, talk about your gaslighting, girl.
At least not the real wife. This doesn't sit well with her because now she sees that the wife is different than the one woman that she actually did meet in her home. So Alistair, the Gary Oldman, he gets really annoyed and calls her a drunken, pill-popping cat lady.
He wasn't wrong.
What a shock. This is a very intense, twisted ending. The acting was really, really good. And the camera angles were really interesting too. They worked very well with this movie. The cat, Punch, was fantastic in his role. I mean, he really was. And he seemed to have perfect timing. And he was a beautiful cat.
Yes, he was.
I did it. 5 cattails.
Whoa, girlfriend. Woo!
Winner.
I knew that you were going to be excited about it when you saw a cat in there. It's such a pretty cat, a big, fluffy, white cat. So that's really good. Well, now, you gave a pretty good description. And I too, she's one of my favorites. I love Amy Adams, and I also like Julianne Moore very much. Yeah. And what I like about this, it's like everybody has their own role, but there's no doubt about it. Amy Adams is the star of this movie, and she did a really good job. Yeah. She said she plays a psychologist. She needs to be her own therapist, but it's good she has one because the woman's a mess. But every character is surprisingly psychotic. So it's really a good movie to see because it's kind of like you have to navigate and figure who the heck is doing what. Now, she is living in the dark. The apartment was so dark and dreary that it really played right into what was going on. And what it made me think of, Sam, don't you agree? It kind of had the look and feel of Rear Window.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and was a great Alfred Hitchcock thriller. So I love a movie that, you know, learns from the old techniques that worked. So now I do have to say, like I said, it's a good movie to see because there's a lot going on every minute of it. All the actors are really good. And
Yeah.
to me, it's not quite as good as Rear Window because you can never quite match the original. But I do now. You gave this a 5, and what I did was I gave this a 4 fingers. So I gave this 4 fingers, but it's still good. We both enjoyed it. Yeah, I know. See, you're having your reaction. Woo woo. Okay, so that's it. So it's worth watching. So everybody, Sam gave it a 5 cattails, and I gave it 4 fingers. So it's worth seeing. So you
Yes.
have to make sure you see it. Okay, so that one's done. Now the second one we're talking about, which is very interesting, is Paradise. And I'm going to read my report on that first while Sam entertains her cat and anything else she does over there. I don't know. Now, Paradise.
I have a rabbit.
Oh, you have a rabbit too. Look at you. You've got a whole zoo over there today. Holy cow. Well, Paradise, okay, calm down. Paradise is a dystopian sci-fi thriller, and this is set in the not too distant future. Now, this is an adaptation of Emily, or if that's I'm pronouncing her name right, Zola's 1883 novel. And I guess she was able to predict the future because I didn't know that when I started looking around, and I was looking around and I said, I didn't know that was a novel. 1883, the novel was written. And
Wow.
she was really a visionary because if you look at what's happening to this reset of society, it fits right in. Now, I do not, I'll tell you the truth, I usually do not absolutely enjoy these type of movies. I don't like the dystopian things because to me it's not nonfiction. It's coming down the road very quickly and where it's heading. So I kind of keep away from that and trying to keep in my own little world. But in order to survive, a time donation program forces people to buy years of their lives. Now, this movie surely displays a sick and twisted existence for the general population. And guess who the general population is, Sam? It ain't the ones making all the money.
Yeah, the CEOs and everything.
Yeah. So, with the rapid pace of technology and the horrible, horrible things that Bill Gates is allowed to do, better buckle up your seatbelts to experience the horrors of the future. This is a must-see movie for people who want to be prepared for what's coming down the pike. Now, perhaps it will open the eyes of people to help them understand exactly what we must fight against, and all the crimes against humanity that are happening. We really cannot be complying. So but it's been happening all around us, the pandemic, forced experimental shots, and the surge of global illnesses and freedom restrictions. Honey, that ain't a conspiracy theory. You get me, people? You have to watch this movie so you understand how far the stuff goes that we're living right now. It's not a no thing. Now, the thing I gave this movie, let me get my hand here. I gave this movie, you know what this means, Sam. I gave this movie a 1, which I do every once in a while. The
I thought
reason
you'd like it.
The reason being, I don't like these kind of movies. I don't like what's going on in the world with the organizations that are leading our politicians to the trough of destruction. So I'm giving this a 1, and everybody wake up. So Sam, what did you have to say about this movie? It can't be as bad as mine.
Well, I think it went on a little too long, but that's
I
beside
agree.
the point. It's a dystopian thriller where people are able to donate a certain amount of their lives in exchange for financial compensation. Now, that doesn't essentially sound too bad.
It does to me.
Yeah. Anyway, biotech firm called Aon offers money, um, you know, with a DNA test performed, and then they will match the recipient to, whoever, matches properly. So it's kind of, strange. And it just doesn't sit right with me either. But anyway,
Yeah.
so an opposing organization called the Atom Foundation or organization, they attack these people. And because they're trying to say that what they're doing is wrong, and also, so it's like a kind of a thing where you're going back and forth with one group that thinks they're right and another group that wants to take over things and thinks they're right.
And murder is never reasonable.
Right. And meantime, Max Toma, who works for Aon, which is the biotech company, and his wife are out one evening, and they come home to find that their house, their apartment, or whatever they live, has been totally destroyed by a fire. And they haven't paid for this because they bought this and it was just way too much for them to afford at the moment. So they took out all kinds of loans. And this is what feeds into the whole attitude of this, film and what they're trying to say. So the woman has to put up her life, like 40 years of her life, just to be able to get enough money to pay off the loan because the insurance won't pay for it. The insurance said that they were negligible in the cause of the fire, the causation. So all of a sudden she has to go, and she's actually arrested and forced to give up her life.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't sit right with many people. So what starts out as a fairly interesting concept turns out completely horrific in a hurry, as we see the results of large corporations manipulating people's lives. And there's lots of twists and turns in the film, maybe a few too many. But I think it's worth watching just to see where they're going with this. It just, the way it was done, the acting was really good. And there were no watch. You don't have to agree with anything they're doing, but of course, and in the concept, it's just whatever. It's just the way they performed this was kind of interesting. I just thought it was a little too long.
What
So I gave
it
it a 3.5.
Yeah, like I said, these movies just give me the willies. So Sam gave it, Fiona gave it 3.5, and I gave it a 1. My personal skew comes in, and why I say I don't like them. I watched them because I wanted to be objective and give it a review, but for my own entertainment, what's his name in the House of Wax, Making Believe. This is a real thing going on in the world. It's a big difference. Okay. So, did you get a chance? Because I know we don't usually do those limited series, but I let you know that I was thinking about Painkillers. So did you get a chance to see that at all?
I actually saw the first episode, and it's interesting. But I already had seen the other series, Dope Sick, which is based on the same.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, there was another one. Yeah,
and that was more realistic.
yeah.
It was more of a documentary, and it's good. It just shows you what's going on in the world and with opioids.
Yeah, that's another thing. The reason I wanted to watch it is because I know people that got addicted to the painkillers. But I stumbled onto this series by accident and was immediately drawn to it because it's another thing that does represent unfortunately, everything that they're doing is representing life right now. It's like, let's go back to fantasy. Let's get my screenplays going, people. I can get into fantasy, but
Yeah.
it's a must-see series, the way I feel about it, for anyone who is on any type of prescription medication, especially oxycodone and other painkillers, because let me tell you, you're just going to end your life sooner. There's no nice way to say it. People have to be aware of what's going into their bodies: medications, foods, so-called vaccines. There's stuff that's, there's too many people getting sick. This isn't a coincidence. But as far as
with the pharmaceutical company too, it's like Purdue, and they're now it's happening now. They're up for all kinds of lawsuits.
I wonder if they have a shot of winning, because I know the drug companies are protected by the government, that you can't sue them for vaccine injuries or death from the vaccines. So the government and they're all working together. So we'll see how what comes out with that.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah. Well, we here on Netflix Reviews not only give you reviews, but we try to raise your social conscious awareness to make better decisions and do what the government doesn't want you to do, everybody. Do some critical thinking. You'll be amazed at what you learn. Okay, everybody, I've said my piece. It was lovely to see you, Felina. See you again. And meow, stay out of trouble. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Bye.